In this video, I'll show you how to sew this beautiful smoky peplum blouse with puff sleeves step by step. It's beginners friendly and requires no zipper at all. With all that being said, let's get started with today's tutorial. I've assembled all the materials that I'll be needing to make this particular outfit, and I have my ruler, my scissors and my chalk. You need two different types of thread. One is the elastic thread, which is this one now that I'm holding. It is very stretchy and it is the best option for this particular style of dress. The second one, which is this one, is a non-elastic thread, which is the normal thread we usually use, and the both threads are black in color. I've cut out this piece of fabric that will be enough for the top, which I'm about to recreate, and it is two here. One is for the front and one is for the back part of this my blouse. So before I went on ahead to cut out this piece, I divided my bust circumference by two. My bust circumference is 38 inches, divided into two is 19 inches. So the wideness of this piece I have right here on my table is 19 inches, and that is perfectly fine because of the nature of this style of dress we are recreating. So because this is an off-shoulder dress, I subtracted 5 inches, which is for my neck depth. So I placed that 5 inches from the very top tip of this my fabric. I got my half length of 16 inches. Then from that my half length, I marked extra 1.5 inches because I want this my blouse to be a bit below my waistline. So in total now I had 17.5 inches. I marked extra half of an inch, which is for my joining allowance. Then I'm going to be extending that point. So altogether this top is 18 inches long. The remaining space I have from that 18 inches line to the end is 5 inches, and that is going to be for my back's effect. I placed my ruler from the size of this my fabric all the way to the end of the other edge of my fabric, and I connected this slantly this way, and that is basically it. I'll go on ahead and cut this out. Remember that I'm cutting for both the front and the back part of my blouse together. So I'll be taking one piece of this from the top part. I'm going to be folding in at least 1 inch. Now this is the wrong side of my fabric facing the camera. I'll be folding in from the right side to the wrong side about 1 inch as I've measured right here. Then from this 1 inch, I'm going to be folding in another half of an inch. Then I'll be pinning this as I'm folding this in. I'm trying to create a channel where my elastic can pass through right here. So after folding in that half of an inch, at the very tip like this, you're going to go on ahead and stitch this all the way from one part of your fabric to the other end. Watch what I'm doing closely and you're never going to get confused. After pinning this, ensure that you go on ahead to stitch this as well. After stitching, the next thing is to mark straight lines where we'll be running our smoky thread lines. Remember that I'm doing this all on the wrong side of my fabric. From that folded top part of this my fabric, I am measuring 3/4 of an inch. So when I measure this, I'm going to use my straight ruler and now connect those dots into a straight line. From that line again, I'll measure 3/4 of an inch, and I'll continue doing this way, making sure that they are all in a straight line. 3/4 of an inch spaces, there should be straight stitch lines where we can sew our smoky thread. Now this is it on my sewing machine. We'll all do this together. Firstly, I'll be stitching that first top folded part with my normal thread. A channel has been created where our elastic can pass through, as you can see right here. So the next we proceed to achieving our smoky effect. So you are going to make sure that you use your elastic thread in the bobbin for the smoky effect. Most times I do this manually, but most times I do this using my sewing machine, the same way you roll your thread to your bobbin. So manually I'm going to be rolling this my elastic thread. Please do not pull it so hard so that it doesn't lose its elasticity. All right, after getting the desired quantity, I put my bobbin into my shuttle and I fixed it into my sewing machine. So the top part of your sewing machine should have the normal thread and not the elastic thread. Now I'll be flipping my fabric now to the right side facing the camera because the smoky thread effect should be on the wrong side of your fabric. So the wrong side of my fabric is directly on top of my sewing machine. On those lines which I marked earlier, I'm going to be running this stitch straight. If you're a beginner and your stitches are not yet straight, please, it is 100% advisable you go on ahead to mark these lines on the right side of your fabric so you don't make mistakes. Like me now, I can actually achieve a very straight stitch without having to take the measurement. As you can see, I've shown you right here. So this is the second line of thread, and this is what it looks like. You can see that without me taking the measurement, I'm still getting it exactly on these lines I marked earlier on the wrong side of my fabric. But with time, trust me, you are going to be perfect with this. This is what I will continue doing till I get to the very end of this my fabric. Here is the third line which I am running a stitch on. On its own, you are going to be achieving these ruffles as you are running this thread. One thing about this is that the more you run your threads, the smaller this dress will become. So I've gone halfway and you can see what it looks like. Ensure that you are straightening out your fabric. Your fabric shouldn't be on fold. Okay, the gathers effect or the ruffles effect, make sure you spread them all out. Just watch what I'm doing right here closely. This is the wrong side and this is the right side. You can see that this my dress is getting smaller, and that is exactly how it should be, and at the end of the day to still fit me perfectly. Manually use your hands to separate the ruffles on your fabric so that you can achieve a neat and smooth sewing at the end of the day. You shouldn't stitch on your ruffles. I'm done stitching this. This takes a lot of time but is worth it. This is for the front and for the back part. Two of them are the same. There is no difference. The next part we're going to be working on will be on the upper part where we already created our elastic casing. This is the elastic I'm working with. It is not up to half of an inch, so I just brought my safety pin. Now from this part of the elastic casing, I'll be passing this through to this other side of my dress. Now I'll bring this out right here, and I'm just going to be securing this end using a pin. That's an office pin. I'll start pulling now on this other side, ensuring that this is not so tight on me, because there's a way you go about the fixing of your elastic. You're going to feel very, very uncomfortable. You don't want any of that happening. So ensure that you use a very good elastic and also stretch it out very well. When I must have gotten the desired elasticity, I went on ahead to cut out the excess elastic I have right there. So the next I'll do is to secure both ends of this my elastic. After securing it, you're going to get the other piece, right sides facing each other. I'm just going to be pinning this from the top part all the way to the base on this side, and you can see they align properly. After doing this, I'll go on ahead now to join these two together using just 1 inch at both sides. Just ignore the fact that I'm yet to fix my elastic through this back casing. I'll do that later on behind the camera. This is just to save time. After doing all of that and fixing my elastic to both the front and the back parts and also joining, this is what I have. So the next thing is to fix the flare part of the dress to this blouse. I'll do this by first of all taking the measurement of what I have all around the waist. The measurement of my waist here is 40 inches and I multiplied it by 4. So I used it to cut out this piece you see right here on the table. This piece I have right here is on fold, and I'm just going to be measuring it out so you all can see what I have so far. Remember it's on fold, then I started taking the measurement. Here is 60. I'll take the measurement again. 60 plus 20 is 80 inches. So by the time I unfold or open up this folded fabric, is going to be 160. So in total, the wideness of this my fabric is 160 and the length is 14 inches. So what I will do next is to get the two ends this way, right sides facing each other, and I'm just going to place them this way. Then I'm going to be stitching this down using just 1 inch. I've stitched this down, I'll cut off the excess. So I want the length of my flare to be 7 inches. Remember I said earlier that the length of this piece I have right here is 14 inches. All I did is to fold them together like this. You can see what I'm doing right here. I folded them like this, ensuring that the two borders are meeting each other. Now the base of this my fabric is totally sealed. After pinning this, you can see I have 7 inches right here. I'll go on ahead at this top part and run gather stitch all around this piece right here. I've gone ahead to do that, and you can see what I have so far. All I'm going to do now is to start pulling on one thread. You know that once you run a gather stitch on your fabric, you will end up having two threads. Go on ahead and start pulling on one thread. So when you are pulling on one of the threads, go on ahead to also adjust them perfectly. As you're pulling on them, you'll be achieving these gathers. Just be arranging it properly as I'm doing right here. Don't pull too hard so that your gathers or your rope doesn't cut. After that, this is what I have. I had to take my time to do this behind the camera. So I'm going to be taking the measurement of what I have on this waist area of my flare. When I took the measurement, it wasn't up to 40 inches. Remember, that is what we have as our waist. So I'll go on ahead and make more adjustments so that this flare part of my dress can actually fit perfectly on the waist area of my blouse. After adjusting this, I'm simply going to get this my blouse right here, then right side facing each other, because at this point this flare now is both the fabric and the lining. Now I'm going to firstly pin the center or the middle point of this my blouse, which is the back part that is pointy. Then following the shape of the waist of my blouse, I will continue pinning this flare part of my dress, right sides facing each other, all the way around the waist area of my blouse. I will ensure I pin this all around, and at the end of the day we will be doing this together on the sewing machine. But firstly, this is what it's going to look like when you are done sewing. But straight to my sewing machine, let's do this together. So I'm going to start from the middle point of this my fabric, which is that pointy backs effects area we have. Okay, flip this to the wrong side just as I have done right here. Then from that pointy part there, I'm making emphasis on that pointy middle part, because if you start just anywhere, you might end up not getting the exact back shape you want to achieve. So I'll start joining from there using just half of an inch. Make sure that you arrange your flare so that the body part of your flare doesn't get joined with this waist area. It should just be that top part of your flare joined together with the waist area of this your top. So I'll continue doing this. I took my time to do this, and as I'm stitching, I'm arranging all of this perfectly, regardless of the fact that I also haven't pinned. I've stitched for one side, and this is what it looks like. I'll complete the other stitching process of the waist area, and I'm going to show you all what it looks like. After stitching this is what it looks like. You see how nice this is looking so far. Then the next is to proceed to cut out for the sleeve part. The sleeve part is something that actually made this tutorial very long. I had to cut that part off, but I promise you there will be a shorter tutorial on how to separately draft out the sleeve pattern and also the sewing process. After drafting out and sewing the sleeve, this is what it looks like, and I'm just going to be attaching this my sleeve now to the body part of my dress. So I'm going to be hand sewing my sleeve to the body part of my dress. At this top part, at the part where I join my sleeve, I'll also get the joints I have on the sides of my dress. I'll place them this way, all right, on the right sides facing each other, and I'll just use my hand needle and my thread to stitch these two together, and that is how you'll be able to wear this. But if you still want to wear this as detachable, it is okay, but most times you tend to lose one sleeve, so that is why I decided to tack mine with my hand needle and my thread. And that is basically all for today's tutorial. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate. I hope to see you next time on the same channel. Don't forget to subscribe in case you found this tutorial helpful. Until some other time, have a lovely time ahead of you. Bye.